Now that you have your new Freebinar account, you can now log in and start conducting webinars. Simply enter the email address that you used to sign up with and the password that you chose. Oops. And click Login. You may also want to have it remember you. Okay. Now, we've designed the system to be very simple, and you just have a few choices once you log into your account. You can simply start a webinar now or schedule a webinar in the future. So let's go ahead and schedule a quick webinar. Go ahead and click here. On the invitation screen here, you can draft up your meeting invitation. Simply select when you would like to have your webinar, at what time. I'm going to set it for 2 o'clock on Friday in the Pacific time zone. Duration is 1 hour, so I'll leave that alone. I'll give the meeting title, Introduction to Freebinar. And here I can select who I'd like to invite to the meeting. My attendees are the people that are just going to come in and watch my presentation. The presenters may be people who I also want to present during the meeting and have them share their screen. So I can add them here and I can add the attendees here. So first I'll invite Bob at test.com and Jim at test.com as well. And my presenter will be Mary at test.com. And I'm sure they will be getting those emails very soon. Here I can enter an optional email message. Hope you can join me for my webinar. Now keep in mind you can invite up to 150 attendees with Freebinar. So that's very handy for any kind of product demonstration, product launches, things of that nature. There's already going to be conference calling information, as Freebinar provides you with a free conference call. This number is a US number, and they may incur long distance charges, but since most people nowadays have unlimited long distance from their cell phones or their other providers, most of the time this may be free for them. Okay, so now I can just send the invitation, but what I'm going to do is click Next, which will take me to allow me to configure a registration form so that people that will be attending my webinar can give me a little bit more information about themselves. So here in the header text, this will appear at the top of my registration form, and I'm just asking them to tell me a little bit about yourself. This will help me. These are standard fields that we figured would be helpful for you, so I want to collect their address information. Okay, so I'm just going to select all of those, and they'll see all of those standard fields. Now I can also add custom fields, so I'm going to ask them a couple of custom questions to get to know my audience a little bit better, such as what is your favorite color? Red, green, oops, or blue. So once I've added those, I can add them. They show up here on the right side in the custom fields preview. And my second question is, have you ever used Freebinar? Yes or no? And I'll add one more, which is comments. And if I don't enter any optional answers, they'll just get a text box. So, oops, I already have a question called comments. Let's call it any other comments and leave that alone there. Okay, that's been added. In the footer, this will be text that appears at the bottom of the registration form. So I'll simply say, thank you for registering for my webinar. Here we have a couple of different options. You can set how many people you'd like to register for this, but most of the time you don't need that. This here asks you if you need password protection. Now, if you say yes, whenever an attendee registers, they'll need to select a password for themselves, and they will use that same password to log into the meeting. So, but for now, I'm going to leave it alone and set it to no. Okay, I can also be sent a notification email every time somebody registers. That could be pretty handy. And I want my attendees to be reminded of the meeting 1 hour before the meeting starts. Okay, I'm going to go next. And here now I have the option of creating a survey. The survey will appear after my meeting. Okay, so I'm going to ask them to please take my survey. Again, I can ask them some additional standard information. Since we already have the address information from the registration, we may want to ask them, something about their organization and what their job title is. And we can also ask them to rate me as a presenter and the content. Okay. Here we can add some additional custom fields, but I'll just leave those alone at this point. No footer text, and I do want to be sent an email notification whenever somebody fills out the survey. This will let me know that there's new results for me, and it will also send me the results of the survey. Okay, let's go ahead and hit next. Now I can preview my entire setup. So here's the email information. Okay, here's my registration form preview. So this is what my registration form will look like. And this is my survey preview, and this is what my survey will look like. Okay. So now that I'm all done with that, I'm going to go ahead and click Finish. And my invitation has been sent. I basically sent my invitation successfully, and now I will be able to start my webinar at the scheduled time. Let's go ahead and go back to my webinars. And here is my upcoming webinar listing, Introduction to Freebinar. It's on Friday at 2 o'clock. And on Friday at 2 o'clock, I can basically start the meeting. So this concludes the introduction on how to schedule a webinar. Please check out our other video, which will show you how to start this meeting and conduct your Freebinar webinar. Thank you.